Shane decided to check out the other cabin. Fuck. Standing in the threshold, he gawked at Atticus, who stood in the center of the room. But Shane could have sworn Atticus went into the left cabin. He couldn't tell from which direction it came. The shrill sound seemed to enshroud them. Go to hell!
Been there, done that, ruled it, and now looking to expand.
Expand where? You just claimed that Earth is already under your dominion.
I love that unwavering egocentrism. Ain't all about you. I have dominion over 4 of the Zodiacs, but I want them all.
What does that have to do with Earth? Us. People.
You are the army that will make dominion over all the Zodiacs possible. Never.
It was a familiar, painful sob. Vicky? You want to enslave us?
Let's not talk about me. What do you want, Shane?
I ain't playing. Call upon me. His voice close, as if a breath from Shane's ear. I will give you whatever you desire. Tell you all about your brother. Tell you my darkest secrets. I do so swear it. He is the great liar, a most devious deceiver. Do not listen to the rantings of its wicked tongue. Call upon me, Shane. Shane clenched his fist. You're the devil.
Too generic. Try again.
Where's my brother?
My name?
My fucking brother. Where is he?
Scott, at least, had the balls to say my name.
Shane panned the dimly lit room. He squatted, bouncing on his haunches, hands on his head. Hot tears swelled in his eyes. His breathing quickened. He stared at the wood floor. You killed him.
You've got me all wrong. I love that kid. I simply had him baptized. You're welcome.
Baptized? Shane stood. He looked up at one of the empty walls. Baptized? I saw him drown himself. My brother just fucking offed himself. Shane walked to the wall. He tapped his head against it. Over and over. I'll kill you. I don't know how or when, but I'll kill you. Somehow, some way. I swear it. More tears stained his cheeks. He thought about Zach and all the strange things he'd done over the years. Staring into the sun, seemingly unaffected by its light or heat. The over-the-top deviant behavior. Just an all-around creepy kid. I always knew you were evil. Atticus could admit to his youth and inexperience, but he had been well trained and well educated and done so by the most revered elder in all the order. This was not the way of things. His path nor that of his twin was meant for a different end. This encounter was not in the plan. If it had been, surely Rorn would have mentioned it when they were flying through time. Rorn knew things. He knew the future. Atticus wasn't sure how or why, but he believed this to be true. Believed it with all his heart. This was not the time to fight. This battle could not be won.
Enough!
He grabbed Shane by the upper arm and yanked him toward the door. The door melted, leaving behind a solid wall. No way out. Mice trapped in a wicked box.
Ah, the mighty and righteous paladin who has devoted his life to ridding the earth of the likes of, well, me. A most futile endeavor.
Atticus smiled. He turned to face the empty room.
Our victory at the base of Mount Neboth was anything but futile, not to mention the War of the Blue Isles, and the Battle of the Keys was most memorable.
The air stiffened with a tense, cotton-like thickness.
You ignorant fool. The state of the world under my dominion is quite impressive. Even you must admit to this truth, you arrogant fuck. People all over this planet are doing my bidding. Ironically, all in your God's name. I convinced them of this with ease, despite the dumb fucks all believing in the same definition of good. But you people aren't really interested in what's good, now are you? It's all just a matter of age-instilled hatreds and self-righteous posturing. I should have just let the pagans and pantheons of less judgmental gods keep on influencing the masses. The Holy Crusades? Now that's my personal favorite. Justified mass murder rooted in intolerance. Burn the witch to rid the world of her evil. Drill the skull of the insane to realign his moral compass. But fire don't burn evil. And drills can't fix shitty genetics due to inbreeding and bad dieting. But I digress. Let's get to the meat of it. Put our hatchets in the soil. My terms for the two of you are most simple. So simple, in fact, that even two nitwits like you should be able to appreciate my unabashedness.
We will not do your bidding. Never.
Fight for me in this war and I will reward you greatly. Fight against me and I will destroy everything and everyone you know and love.
You fucking monster.
I've already taken your brother and your woman. How much more are you willing to gamble?
Tears burned at his eyes. His teeth ground so tightly his jaw physically ached.
What have you done with her?
Settle down, big guy. I don't have her with me. You think I walk around with a cute little girl shoved down my pocket? Although I have been in her pocket. She's got quite the snatch, if I don't say so myself. A lovely cunt indeed.
Zach's massive visage appeared as a washed-out, colorless image plastered on the wall, as tall as the ceiling.
Wait, what's this?
Zach shook his head faster and faster and faster. It blurred like the blades of a ceiling fan, then stopped. Zach's face was replaced with that of Amy's. Amy's face melted away, wax running down a black neck. And behind the melted wax was Scooter's grinning face.
She's mine now.
A human bald hand appeared on the adjacent wall, almost as massive as Scooter's visage. The hand slowly pumped upward.
I can fit my entire fist inside her little pussy.
Bastard. You goddamn bastard. Shane fell to his knees. He covered his face. Both images dissipated, leaving behind a blank wall. Zach's voice boomed from all around them.
Fight for me, and I'll give back your Amy. Fight for me, and I'll return your brother. If you do oppose me, I will make everyone you ever knew and cared for a cocksucking whore of hell. For all eternity, your precious friends will choke on the flies of Beelzebub's rotten tits, and I will personally make every hole in your little brother's body bleed and ooze with demon seed.
Atticus knelt beside Shane.
He lies. We can and will win. The cosmos has chosen us to defeat this evil. Why would it go through the trouble if we were fated to fail? Trust me in this.
Shane could admit he was not what anyone would deem or imagine as the world's champion, much less a righteous one. But he'd always been one to fight for the weak and unfortunate. He was a sucker for the underdog. Throughout his life, he'd risked way too much, for what some might say was way too little. It's who he was. Even if he thought Satan was telling the truth about returning Amy and Scooter, he couldn't trade anyone's happiness for his own, not even to save the ones he loved most in this world. He just wasn't built that way. Atticus helped Shane to his feet. He looked toward the empty wall.
You can't win. Do you know why God chose you to do his bidding? God didn't choose us. The cosmos did. My dear, ignorant, foolish boy, the cosmos is God. But the cosmos balances the universe, ensures evil does not outweigh good, and vice versa. It allows evil to exist. God would never— Oh, indeed he would. And since God cannot tolerate evil, he must call upon others to fight his battles. Quite seriously fucking pathetic if you ask me. But it's all he can do to keep the balance of things. You lie. So you've said. Think about it. There can be no good without evil. One needs the other in order to exist. And God is good. To eliminate evil would be to eliminate God. And like the rest of us, God doesn't want to cease to exist. You can understand, I'm sure.
Atticus felt faint. His head spun. It had to be lies, for Satan was the great deceiver. Lies, lies, lies. His heart screamed this truth. Everything Satan said was untruth.
You refuse to accept what I say, because you've been taught that I'm a great deceiver. Yes. Taught by scholars who only speak the truth? Yes. Your father was no warrior. Your mother was no super mage. She was a whore, and a very good one at that.
Atticus frowned. He felt the breath escape his lungs. He drew in a gulp of much-needed air.
They were low-rent, racist, incest child molesters. Lie. Liar, liar. Do you think the people of the Order would have accepted you as a twin warrior if they'd known your true bloodline?
Atticus stepped backward, stumbling. His arms flew outward to balance his shaky stance. It couldn't be. But if it were true, who fabricated the lie and who helped to keep its truth from surfacing? Atticus remembered the day Rorn died.
I knew of Rorn's plan. That is why I am here now, to counsel you.
He did nothing to stop it. Elder Kai had lied to him. Rorn had lied to him. Atticus remembered that feeling of betrayal, of feeling like nothing was what it seemed, and that feeling was upon him again.
I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit upon the mount of the congregation, in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. No. You're the beast who will try to destroy the world. There are many beasts. If you were a smart little knight, you would leave them all be. Unless you want to surrender that sweet piece of Puerto Rican tail to me. I'm certain I could find a spot on my wall to hang her. I'll drape her next to Nora.
I do not belong here. This world needs me somewhere else that is not New Mexico.
That is not the order of Abel.
He wanted to smile, but the corners of his mouth would not lift. He pushed her image aside, refusing to picture her on Satan's wall, refusing to imagine the torture he'd inflict onto her. They had a mission to kill the Geminus. That's why they were born. It is in the fates. Atticus looked at the bare wall.
Are the Geminus acting under your authority?
Seriously? You insult me. Those ridiculous star-throned creatures are nothing more than a race of pawns born of rape and debauchery of their whore of a demigoddess mother. But they serve their purpose.
What purpose? How did the Geminus fit into all this?
In a game of chess, the strategy to winning is to plan ahead. What good would planning ahead do if I were to reveal where I plan to move my bishop?
The strategy in chess does not lie in planning ahead. To win, one must recognize patterns and anticipate variations.
So you think you can outwit me? Picture, if you will, that the collective universes make up the most intricate chessboard ever conceived. There are the black pieces controlled by yours truly. And then there are the white pieces controlled by your great I Am. The twins are his knights. But I have my own star player. Scooter will make a fine dark bishop indeed.
Shane heard a voice in his head.
I have a gift for you. It awaits at your home. Something that brings you great pleasure.
Amy?
Indeed.
You lie.
That I do, but not about this.
Why should I believe you?
Because you want it to be true. And we both know you won't walk away from the possibility of this truth.
Satan was right. Shane had to know. He turned toward the blank wall where the door once was. The handle to the door reappeared. The door swung open.
You have 66 minutes and 6 seconds. Make 'em count.